Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say shalom to Akim and Akwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. Bear with me one moment. I'll leave it at that. If it gets a little too loud, we'll turn it down. All right, so like I said, once again, coming at you with another lesson. All right, the spirit, power of Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, and this one's called Cut It with the Lies, Esau. All right, of course, we have abbreviated to E because you know how YouTube is with all that. Well, so cut it with the lies, Esau. You just don't want people to have food. All right, and really, this should have a have an exclamation at the end of that. All right, cut it with the lies, Esau. You just don't want people to have food. All right, and this comes from an article that I came across, an outrageous article, mind you, that I came across last night that just sounded stupid as hell to me when I saw it. All right, but after I looked into it, I think I read just a little bit of it. I was like, okay, I see what this is really about. But it's just, the absurdity of it. All right, so this is from ABC News. All right, so this isn't wacky, some crazy news site that nobody knows of. This is ABC News. All right, and the title of the article is Feral Cows to be Gunned Down by Shooters in Helicopters in U.S. National Forest. Okay, we'll repeat that again. Feral cows to be gunned down by shooters in helicopters in U.S. National Forest. All right. I gotta make sure to enunciate more. Make sure to read more instead of just and letting it be implied. I know some of you brothers or you sisters maybe might be watching these on the way to work. All right, you might not be able to look at the phone. It might be on in the background. So that's what the article says. Once again, feral cows to be gunned down by shooters in helicopters in the U.S. National Forest. Like they're Vietnamese or something. All right, like a Huey gunship. They're going around gunning down cows. It's fucking ridiculous, man. So it says 100, and Salakia for the language again, it says the 150 cattle pose a significant threat to public safety and the environment. Let's read that one again. The 150 cattle pose significant threat to public safety and the environment. I don't know if you've been around cows before, but they're not the most deadly of creatures. All right, in case you didn't know, they're not particularly violent. All right, they're mostly nice. Cows are pretty sweet. They're fine. You can just they're chill. All right, they don't really attack all that much. That I know of. I've never heard of a cow to be one to attack. I mean, sure, any animal can attack, but it's not like they're like horses. You hear about attacks. All right, bulls you hear about attacks. Hell, dogs, cats you hear about. Cows, not so much. All right, not so much. They got their weight going for them, but other than that, I don't know, man. But it says a herd of cows take over LA neighborhood. At least 35 cows ran through the streets of Pico Rivera, California on Monday night. All right. It says, maybe we'll go ahead and play this video. Let's see if it has any. Let's pause this music here. Let's see if it has anything decent to say. 1 minute. Let me go ahead and restart the page. I guess it's not gonna. I guess it's nothing. All right. I don't know. It's not playing for whatever reason. All right, but whatever. We'll continue on, or we'll just read it. It says feral cows roaming wild around southwest New Mexico will be gunned down and by shooters in helicopters beginning next week, according to a plan approved. We'll open that up. A plan approved by U.S. officials. Okay, let me read that over again. It says, feral cows roaming wild around southwest New Mexico will be gunned down by shooters in helicopters beginning next week, according to a plan approved by the U.S. officials. Now, this says according to a plan, and it gives us a link to the plan. What's the plan? It's from the USDA, all right, .gov, fs.usda.gov, .gov. All right, it's a website. I guess it's from Forest Service. Department of Agriculture. All right, U.S. Department of Agriculture. All right, USDA, and it's for the Forest Service. I guess it's not specific. I guess it's just this one's okay for the Gila National Forest. All right, I was wondering if it was gonna list exactly, you know, where it was. It told us where it was in the article, but I wanted to see if this site would give it to us. So this article says Gila or Gila, I don't know, depending. National Forest moves forward with lethal removal of feral cattle from Gila Wilderness. It says the area closure begins on February 20th, 2023. So tomorrow, actually. It says the Gila, I'm just going to call it Gila, all right? It could be Gila, but the Gila National Forest has issued a decision to remove feral cattle within the boundaries of the Gila Forest using lethal methods. These feral cattle are not domesticated animals and pose a significant threat to public safety and natural resources. A closure order covering the area of operations will go into effect on Monday, February 20th, and aerial shooting will commence from Thursday, February 23rd through Sunday, February 26th. So it's going to be a whole campaign, all right? It's going to be Operation Rolling Stake, all right? For public safety, Gila National Forest officials are asking people to avoid the closure area unless you want to get popped, all right, while the order is in effect. I say it's been a difficult decision, but the lethal removal of feral cattle from the Gila Wilderness is necessary to protect public safety, which is a bunch of bullshit, threatened and endangered species habitats, I'm pretty sure that's bullshit too, water quality perhaps, and the natural character of the Gila Wilderness, said Camille Howes, Gila National Forest Supervisor. The feral cattle in the Gila Wilderness have been aggressive toward wilderness visitors, I doubt that, graze year-round, and trample stream banks and springs, causing erosion and sedimentation. This action will help, and this is probably just a bunch of bullshit. More than likely, all that's just a bunch of bullshit. This action will help restore the wilderness character of the Gila Wilderness enjoyed by visitors from across the country. All right, we don't have to really, well, it says down here, all dispatch cattle will be left on site to naturally decompose. It says Forest Service staff will ensure no carcasses are adjacent to or in any water body or spring, designated hiking trail, or known culturally sensitive area. Wilderness Minimum Requirements Decision Guide has been completed and approved before using any methods otherwise prohibited under the Wilderness Act. So they're going to basically, you know, like Operation Rolling Beef. All right, they're going to be hanging out, you know, they're going to... All I picture is, 1 minute. This is all I picture, man. I just pictured, you know, dudes, you know, get some, do, you know, just gunning down cows. That's all I'm picturing, man. It's fucking ridiculous. This is what I'm picturing, man. All right, I know they're probably gonna be, you know, hanging out the side of a helicopter, not with an actual, you know, machine gun on it. They probably have, you know, rifles or snipers or some sort. But this is all I'm picturing, man. This is all I'm picturing. It's just ridiculous, man. It just. Oh man, hey, and you know, when I was reading this, it came to me that more than likely, what this is, there it is, fine, it says an error occurred during video playback, all right, so it wasn't going to let us play that video. It would have been nice if it would have got to us a little bit earlier, but when I was reading this, all right, I don't know what it was, all right, it could have been through the spirit, but someone just said, this is BS, man, this is BS, all right, I highly doubt. All right, now my opinion doesn't matter. All right, it's all about the Bible. But we know that in the end times, Esau is going to be doing some, you know, less than savory acts. All right, as they're currently doing now, and you know, through the Spirit, I believe that this is really just starting, you know, for an event to, you know, make sure that people won't be able to when they're out in those mountains. Because where is this? It's in the National Forest. All right. And you know, when shit gets bad and martial law gets declared, all right, people are going to run to the forests, the mountains, all right, and guess what? They don't want anything out there for you to be able to eat, all right? They don't want there to be anything out there for you to eat. They don't want there to be no natural fruits, all right? They don't want there to be no berry bushes. They don't want there to be nothing. Why? Because they want you to take that thing, All right, that CHIP. All right, the MOTOBA, the MOTB. All right, that's mentioned in Revelation 13 and 16. That's what they want you to take. All right, and what's the point in taking it when you can go out in the forest and there's 150 cattle out there, and those are going to reproduce. In the next, it's by the end of the year there'll probably be 150, 170 maybe. All right, the cattle's be getting down. All right, the cows be getting down. All right, so that's a food source, and they don't want none of that. All right, so it really isn't about, and I could be wrong. All right, I could be wrong. All right. But something in my spirit felt, hey, this seems fishy to me. All right, this seems fishy to me. And I said it could not be the case, but more than likely, all right, as from what I'm seeing, this seems to be something to implement, a famine, all right, in the end days, all right. So there won't be no food. You'll have to go to FEM to the A. All right, you'll have to go get that RF to the I to the D, CHIP, all right, and you'll have to go there, and they'll have to give you the food. You won't be able to go and because if you don't have that, you won't be able to go into any of the stores. All right, when it gets really, really bad, all right, when it gets really, really bad, they're gonna start putting people in camps. All right, FEMA internment camps. All right, so you don't want nothing like this that you could survive on. All right, you don't want none of this wild cows that you could eat. All right, but like I said, hey, I could be wrong. I'm not saying 100%, but what I can say for 100% is that in the end days, all right, as it has been taught to us, all right, there is going to be famine, all right, and it could be, it's not necessarily going to be a lack of food thereof, but it's going to be implemented that way, all right. We've already seen, a while back ago during, I don't remember if it was during the pandemic or a little bit after, we saw, thousands of cows dying. What was it? Let's see if the article's still up. Yeah, it said days of intense heat, which was not the case. They still have the image. Yeah, here it was. The Kansas cows. All right, what killed the Kansas cows? It's by PETA. All right. And I believe some of the cows survived. So obviously, if some of them survived, it couldn't have been heat. All right, it couldn't have been that. All right, what about all the other animals? Everything would have died. Why was it just the cows? Why was it just the cows? It doesn't make any sense. All right, and this was what year? This was in 20. Oh, this wasn't. No, was that? I guess it was in June 17th, 2022. I guess is when that was. Let's make sure. June 16th. It was so it was around the 16th. All right. It says from ABC 30. It says it got the date there. 2022. Cattle deaths. At least 2,000 cows died in Kansas amid continuing heat wave. And there was a heat wave going, but why didn't all the other animals die? It's a little fishy. And we know that what the government does is they create these. They say, hey, go ahead and kill all those cows. All right. And they don't say go ahead. They say you're going to. All right, go ahead and kill all those cows. Go ahead and kill off all your chickens. All right, go ahead and kill all these off. They implement shortages. All right, just here in Vegas, they tried to create a shortage of gasoline. All right, it didn't really go as planned. But what did they say? They said, oh, the gas pipeline broke. The gas pipeline broke. And that day, me and my wife were cruising around, and we saw a bunch of people lining up at gas pumps. All right, all throughout the road. It was stupid. It was stupid. I said, and through the spirit, I said, this ain't something that's true. They're trying to do something. And when the next few days, it was like 3 or 4 days, all right, I think that they fixed it, and it was fine. It was fine, but everybody went out and bought gas. And you know what? If the thing is, they try to implement these shortages this way, all right, by, let's just use anything example. Let's say there's a beer shortage. Let's just use that, all right? Oh, there's a beer shortage. There's a beer shortage, all right? Let's just say specifically, we'll just say a beer shortage. There's a beer shortage, beer manufacturers, blah, 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 blah. And really, there's no beer shortage. There's none, all right? But when they say that, guess what? Thousands upon thousands of people, if you're in a big city, are going to go flock and buy up all the beer. And guess what there's going to be? There's going to be a beer shortage, all right? There's going to be a beer shortage now, all right? That's a manufactured famine. All right, a manufactured shortage. All right, manufactured shortages. It doesn't mean there's really a shortage. All right, it just means the way they're going about it. They're either forcing one or they're causing people to buy it all up, and they're implementing it. All right, they're making it happen. All right, and I believe that's what this is. All right, in the end days, they don't want no wild cows to be around. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull full, Chernobyl. All right, and really that was this. They did that to, so to speak, get rid of the radiated wilderness. But I wouldn't be surprised. They basically went around killing all the animals in that area. All right, not because food or anything. Supposedly, I don't know. I wouldn't want to eat anything from fucking that area anyway after that radiation. But they're gonna pull one of those events. All right, more than likely. All right, and go kill anything that you could eat. So you got to go to the camps. You got to go and get that thing in your wrist. All right, you won't be able to go and eat no berries. Make sure there's no berries around. They might have soldiers going around. This is speculation. I'm not saying 100%. All right, I'm just saying in those days. All right, you're not going to be getting food unless the Lord's dealing with you. All right, unless the Lord is dealing with you, you will not eat, and we have scriptures to prove that. Okay, now these people are going to go and get that Matoba, that mark. All right, and they think, oh, I'm gonna get fed. All right, but it's gonna be a bunch of bullshit. All right, it's gonna be a gotcha moment. All right, it's gonna be a gotcha moment when they go there. All right, and everything isn't, they go to those camps or whatever, however it goes, and everything isn't as it was promised to them. All right, meanwhile, the people that the Lord's dealing with, the elect, all right, are gonna be doing just fine. All right, with food wise. All right, it's not gonna be happy-go-lucky days and end days, but hey, anyway, we're rambling. All right, let's get more back to factual. All right, there's many different ways it can be. Like I'm saying, I'm not saying this is 100% for that. It just seemed a little fishy to me, and I wouldn't be surprised in the end days if this is something that they do. They go through all the mountains and all the hills, make sure there's nothing, that anything that anybody could hunt. All right, you wouldn't want that. All right, let's go down. I think we got most of it. So yeah, so they're saying they're aggressive. Authorities are saying this is the most efficient and humane way to deal with the animals. Yeah, we basically got most of this in that other article. Let's see. Says the issue regarding the feral cattle has been ongoing since the 1990s. According to the official decision memorandum released on Thursday, and several hundred cattle were destroyed between 1996 and 1998 in an effort to control the growing population. In fact, in the past 25 years, the force has issued a total of 9 contracts that have resulted in the removal of 211 cattle, with the last order coming a year ago in February 22nd, February 2022, Slovakia, when 65 feral cattle were lethally removed. Authorities estimate around 150 will be eliminated during the cull set to take place next week. All right, it says if branded cattle are lethally removed during gatherings or area operation, U.S. Forest Service officials say the owner may request compensation by contacting the U.S. Forest Service. Blah 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 blah. All right, like I said, this is a thing that's been ongoing apparently. Not like I said, like we read. All right, this is a thing that's been ongoing apparently. All right, just now they're bringing it up apparently. All right, supposedly. All right, but hey, whether it's this set or anything to come in the future, all right, hey, it seems like something that they would do. All right, is kill off all the wildlife. All right, because you don't want nobody to, if I was in that position. If I was in that position, all right, and trying to be, some weird totalitarian government, all right, it seems like that would be the thing that would make sense to do, all right? So people would have to go to you for food, all right? But, hey, let's get Nahum 3:1, all right? It reads, "Woe to the bloody city, it is all full of lies and robbery, the prey departeth not." Okay, so this place, regardless of whatever that situation was with the cows, all right, this place is full of lies. All right, they're going to tell you one thing when really what's behind it is a completely different thing. All right, it's lies. It's full of lies and robbery. All right, in the bloody city, Babylon the Great. Okay, and the prey departeth not. Why? Because with all the prophecy that's going out, all right, all the brothers that are teaching, All right, you still got these people that just don't want it. They don't want to depart out of Babylon. And I don't mean physically leaving and getting on a plane and going over to Africa. I'm going back to my roots. No, you're not. All right, or I'm going back to Israel. No. Well, and you're gonna go back to Israel and you're gonna live where they have synagogues and they're worshiping this false Hamashiach over there. All right, they're calling the Messiah and all the Mo stuff. There's a lot of Mo stuff that goes on in Israel now. All right, you're gonna go over there and everything's gonna be perfect. All right, you're gonna go back to Mount Zion. You know what they've done to Mount Zion? They've ruined it with idol worship. All right, that's what they've done to it. All right, they've built idol worship palaces. All right, and ish stuff all over it, man. All over it. All right, it's where we're from, but these people have completely desecrated the Holy Land. All right. So you think you're just when we're reading the scripture, it says the prey departeth not. That doesn't mean physically leave, all right? Because some people understand about the destruction of Babylon, and their thought is, oh, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go to Africa. I'm gonna go to Israel. I'm gonna go anywhere but Babylon just to get out of Babylon. All right? No, that's not what it means. The prey departeth not. We are in Babylon, all right, physically, but spiritually we are not. We're not with the doctrines here. All right, we're not with we're not with it. All right, we're not with the mo stuff. All right, we're not with all this weird feminism and uprising of women stuff. All right, and all this confusion. All right, we're not with it. All right, but physically we are here when so we can't. We're not. It doesn't mean to physically depart and get on a plane somewhere and leave. All right, that's not what it means. All right, but let's read it again. Nahum 3:1. Woe to the bloody city, Babylon the Great! It is all full of lies and robbery. All right, it's full of lies and robbery. And what? It says, the prey departeth not. Let's go and see what the Good News Translation has to say. It says, doomed is the lying, murderous city, full of wealth to be looted and plundered. And they kind of, lost the point there. But, hey, the prey departeth not. And who is the prey? All right, the prey is Israel. All right, but they don't depart. All right, they want to stay here. A lot of time when you tell Jake this, they don't want to hear it. Why? Because they like the clothes, the shoes, the money, and the hoes. All right, they like the gold chains. All right, they like all the luxury. All right, they like the clubbing scene. All right, they like the weed that they can smoke. All right, and rolling out in their nice cars. All right, they don't want to depart. I like it here. I don't know what you're talking about. I like it here. Meanwhile, you're living in a society that's been built on your back. All right, built on your back. All right, because your fathers and your great grandfathers and so on and so forth, which every third and fourth generation we come back. So it was built on your back, Jake. All right, and here you are. You don't want to depart out of this place. You want to stay. Oh, I like it now. It's fine. It's fine. Look how they still gunning you down in the streets, Jake. All right, look. But you don't want to depart. You love it here. A lot of you, Jake, man. Hey, a lot of you, Jake, are gonna perish in the end, man. All right. Everyone who's not of the elect, all right, is going to perish, all right, in the end days. This is Psalm 58:3. And, Esau lies a lot, all right? Sir lies a lot. That's Esau for you, all right? Sir lies a lot, okay? So everything, you can't believe him on anything, all right? You can't believe them on anything, okay? They never stop lying. All right, even if you're talking to an Edomite at work, it's like the boy that cried wolf. All right, it's like the boy who cried wolf. All right, they lie, and then they say something true, and you're like, this dude's probably lying. All right, there's a guy at my work. All right, and he lies his ass off just all the time. Edomite guy just lies, man. Just lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. All right, they lie about the lies that they're lying about, man. It's ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous. So if they were to say something true, you don't even know whether to believe them or not. Okay? And that's exactly how it is with E. Okay? You should assume everything's a lie, because everything that comes out of their mouth is a lie. 99% of what comes out of their mouth is a lie. All right? They could say, watch out for this and that, and you'd have to wonder, is it a lie? All right? Should I really watch out for that or not? All right? You got to keep these people under a watchful eye, man. All right, because that's all they do is lie. All right, this is Psalms 58:3. The wicked are estranged from the womb; they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. All right, it says their poison is like the poison of a serpent; they are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. All right, so there you go. Now, in this case, like I said, it could be that, there just happened to be too many cows. But the whole thing just seems a little fishy, man. All right? It seems a little fishy to me. Okay? You never heard about any of this going on. All right? Now, they could have been killing cows. All right? They could have been killing cows before. But it just seems it's a little fishy is all. Okay? I'm saying, even if this event is just whatever. Let's just say this event, they aren't killing it to create a famine. Cool. Whatever. All right? It doesn't stop the point that in the end days, all right, you're not going to be able to just go out and get food like that, all right? Unless you're of the elect and the Lord, puts food in front of you, okay? Somehow, because in those days you're not going to be able to get food unless you have that thing in your hand, all right? And you know what we're talking about, Revelation 13 and 16, all right? Which is the RF to the I to the D, C-hip, all right? You're not going to be able to just go and get food unless you have that, all right? Or unless you're of the elect, because the Lord's going to take care of his elect, all right? He's going to take care of his servants, okay? But for the vast majority of people, all right, you're not gonna get fed for a little bit. You're gonna get that little thing in your hand. You might get taken somewhere, or you might be able to go to your stores and buy. But then it's gonna get worse. That's gonna be the start off. All right, but then camps are gonna come. All right, people will be getting thrown in camps. All right, it might be some people that aren't even not just Israelites. Some other people get thrown in camps. All right, you don't know this. You got to realize the complete and totalitarian government these people are gonna have with that CQS to the M. All right, I believe it is. All right, with the classes. All right, sovereign. All right, standard. All right, or was it common? All right, and then after common you have there's another one, and then after that it goes straight to quarantined. All right, and so who knows how that's gonna be, man. All right. Who knows how that more than likely, if you're quarantined, you're probably going to be in some type of internment camp. All right. So, and so there you go, man. If you didn't have this or that, if you didn't get that, all right, it might not just be all Jake. All right. There might be some Edomites or other nations in there that didn't want to necessarily comply with the government. All right. Those guys, those prepper dudes that think, oh, I'm a blah 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 blah. I'm gonna get my guns and I'm gonna do all. They might throw one of them and they might just kill them right then and there before they even get a chance to go in the camp. All right, but these Edomites, all right, are gonna lie. All right, they're gonna lie. Okay, they're gonna lie and say, oh, this is gonna be good for you. This is gonna be beneficial for you. You should do this. Take this thing. All right, you know what this thing is? It's speaking of the MOTB. All right, take this thing and we'll make sure you got food. Make sure you got clothing. Make sure you got shelter. All right, it's just gonna be a bunch of lies, man. It's just gonna be a bunch of lies, and a lot of people are gonna fall for it. A lot of people fall for Esau's lies. All right, and the day's coming. All right, like once again, regardless if this is implemented the famine, there will be a famine. All right, there will be a famine. All right, there will be droughts. All right, you will not be eating or drinking lest you're of the Lord's elect. All right, Psalm 58:3 once again. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. All right, so there you go. And that doesn't mean they come out already being able to speak. All right, but no, it means as soon as they're of the age, that's all they do is lie. And we all know those kids. We all knew those kids that were lying. All right, I had some friends. All they did was just lie all the damn time. And you know what? They were Edomites. All right, back when I was a child. All right, just lying. Everybody knew someone. All right, or knows someone currently. All right, that just lies their ass off all the damn time. A lot of them are Edomites, but Jake loved to lie too. All right, Jake loved to lie. It's one of their favorite pastimes as well. They're just not as good as it as good. They're not as good at it as Esau. There we go. If I could get my words together. Job 13:4. But ye are forgers of lies. Who? Esau, Edom. Ye are all physicians of no value. All right, so they're forgers of lies. All right, and we've got it before what forging means. All right, if you go to like blacksmiths, what they use is a forge. All right, a blacksmith was a person, back in the day. All right, before assembly lines were a thing. All right, you'd have blacksmiths that would create doorknobs and nails and anything metal. All right, anything armor, weaponry. Swords, daggers, knives. All right, your forks, your spoons. All right, they'd create those things. All right, so a forge, all right, was where they would make those things. All right, and a forger, all right, They're gonna give us the definition? No. Let's get it. Let's go over here.
Forger.
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 One who produces fraudulent copies or imitations. There's that as well, which Esau is also. All right, but if you look up forge, just get forge.
Forge.
Means to make or shape a metal object. All right, to found, to cast. All right, to form, to bring together parts or to combine to create something. All right, and that's what they're doing. They're bringing parts of lies and they're creating lies. All right, producing.
Produce.
To make or manufacture from components or raw materials. So they're producers of lies. Okay? They're producers of lies. And it's like it says, a blacksmith's workshop, a smithy. That's a forge. All right, why? Why do they call it a forge? Because what do you do there? You forge. All right? And that's what Esau does. All right? And Slakia, 1 minute. That's what Esau does. And then it goes on to say, you're all physicians of no value. And we know what a physician is. All right? A primary health physician, all that. A physician's a doctor, all right? So they are doctors of no value because they won't be able to help you that way either, all right? They won't be able to help you that way either. So now that we've got that out of the way, all right, Esau and his lies, let's go over and grab Ezekiel 14 and 13 because the famine's going to come, man, all right? Whether you want it to or not, whether you believe it or not, all right? This is Ezekiel 14 and 13. All right, we're going to read down through 14 as well. And this goes on for quite a while, actually. But 13 through 14 is the point where we're speaking about, famine. Ezekiel 14 and 13, it reads, Son of man, when the land sinneth against me by trespassing grievously, then will I stretch out mine hand upon it and will break the bread, will break the staff of the bread thereof, and will send famine upon it, and will cut off man and beast from it. Though these 3 men, Noah, Daniel, and Job, were in it, they should deliver but their own souls by their righteousness, saith the Lord. All right. So those 3 men, Noah, Daniel, and Job, were in it. They're gonna be fine. All right. And it continues to mention them, down through. Continues to mention them as it goes down. All right, it talks about like in verse 19, for example, it says, if I send a pestilence in that land and pour out my fury upon it in blood to cut off from it man and beast, though Noah, Daniel, and Job were in it, as I live, saith the Lord our power, they shall deliver neither son nor daughters, they shall but deliver their own souls by their righteousness, because they were righteous men. All right, by their righteousness. All right, the Most High is going to deal with them through their righteousness. Okay, so, and Noah, Daniel, and Job, these are representatives, all right, of the elect. Okay, these are representatives of the elect. So in those days, all right, the only one who's going to make it out of those situations are the elect. Okay, those are the only ones that are going to make it through that situation are the elect. All right, the Lord's men. All right, and women and children as well. All right, the Lord's elect. All right, elect men, women, and children. Okay, those are the only ones that are going to make it. All right, no Hamites going to make it. All right, no Moabites going to make it. Damn sure no Edomites going to make it. All right, it don't matter it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. All right, even the Jakes that aren't part of the elect, the 2/3 Jake, they're not gonna make it. Okay, so the only ones that are gonna make it out of this situation, all right, because the times we're going into are gonna be deadly serious, deadly bad, man. All right, so bad that Michael's gonna come back. All right, the Archangel of War. All right, it's gonna hey man, we're coming into worse times than we've ever seen. All right. And yeah, it's frightening, man. All right, that's why we need to stay prayed up. All right, that means why we hope and pray that the Most High is still dealing with us. All right, and guides us in our actions. All right, and we stay doing what we're supposed to be doing. All right, so we have a good chance at this, man. All right. So let's get second address. All right, so now's not the time for going to, partying all the damn time. All right, don't get it twisted. All right, don't get it twisted. Slack you. One minute. Whew, slacky. I thought I deleted the scriptures I had for a minute. All right, and don't get it twisted. This doesn't mean that you can never, never do anything fun. All right, that's not what we're saying. 1 minute, let me type this in. So it doesn't mean you can't do anything fun. It doesn't mean you should never, you can't ever go to a bar and have a beer, all right, or a drink. That's not what it's saying. You can't go to Chili's, or you can't go to Applebee's and watch the game and have a beer at the bar. You're not allowed. That's not what that. No, that's not what we're saying. All right, that shouldn't be your primary goal through life. Is bar, party, nightclub, all right, and that's all you're doing every day. You're not watching lessons, you're not making lessons, you're not studying, you're not doing any of that, all right, you're just going to bar to bar to bar to bar to bar to bar to bar. You never watch lessons, you never make lessons, you're never thinking about the Lord, none of that, all right. You should be making sure you got to make sure you're doing what's right, all right, and then you can go to a bar. You can take your wife out to a dinner. You're allowed to do things like that, and we shouldn't even have to explain that. All right, but some Jake get it so twisted that we can't do nothing. No, you can. All right, you just can't do something that's wicked. All right, you can go out and go to a sports bar or go to Buffalo Wild Wings and watch the game and I don't know if I think some of those, I'm not sure, they might sell alcohol. No, I know they have the game, but for example, I know Applebee's, for example, they have that. You can go there and get a brew. All right, and go ahead and get a brew. Pray do it for the brews, but you can go there and get a beer, all right? There's nothing wrong with that, so don't get it twisted. Some Jake go overboard. They say we can't do nothing fun, get on that, or you get in that spirit where you think that you can't have any fun, so you just sit in the room and you just meditate and twiddle your thumbs, all right? No, man. Don't try to be over righteous, and also don't take it overboard thinking, we're saying, that we don't get it twisted, all right? Don't try to put words in other people's mouths, all right? Listen. All right, listen, because Jake, a lot of time they get emotional. You say something, they start jumping to conclusions. All right, that's how I was a while back too. All right, I've been there. That's how I know. All right, you hear one thing, and you jump to the worst. I guess I can't do nothing then. All right, not like that. All right, not specifically. All right, but taking things out of context. All right, with what you can and can't do. All right, with what you can and can't do. So 2nd Esdras 16 and 19. It reads, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment." All right, so these things are sent as scourges for amendment. All right, so first thing we got to do is look up what scourge means. Okay, let's get scourge. It says, a whip used as an instrument of punishment. A person, it's not a person, it would be a person, all right, or thing that causes great trouble or suffering. Okay? So it's what a scourge is something that causes great trouble or suffering. It says historically it's a whip or an instrument of punishment, a whip used as an instrument of punishment. All right, so these things, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish, are sent as punishments. All right, a thing that causes great trouble or suffering. All right, why? For amendment. All right, for amendment. What is amendment? All right. Amendment, a minor change or addition designed to improve a text or a piece of legislation, and that's the worldly version. We're looking for let's go back. That's not what we wanted. 1 minute. Amend. Here it is. Yeah. For amendment, noun. A revision, an alteration, a change, a modification. All right, they're sent as punishment for change. All right, so you change from your ways, you stop doing all the wickedness. All right, but no one's gonna change. All right, well there are some. Not no one's gonna change. So let me take that back. A lot of people aren't gonna change. All right, the only ones that are gonna change are the elect. All right, the other people, they're not gonna change. Verse 20 says, "But for all these things, as it says." But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So it says it right plain. I don't have to tell you. The Bible says it right here in 2nd Esdras 16 and 20. All right, for all those things, famine and plague and tribulation, anguish. All right, which among tribulation and anguish is death, suffering, torture. All right, women being ravaged in the end. For all those things, all right, and all these terrible things that are going to come, they're still not going to turn from their wickedness. All right, that's how exceedingly wicked, all right, society has become. Okay, all those things, and they're still not going to do it. And we can with the famine and plague, we already saw with the plague that they're not going to change their ways. All right, people got a little bit scared during the demic. All right, they got a little bit scared during the demic. All right. We noticed there was less scoffers. All right. And then after it went away, people went right back to doing their thing. All right. So it didn't change them at all. They weren't changed beings. All right. No, they weren't changed beings. These people are the same wicked people that they've been being. All right. So this is 2nd Esdras 15 and 58. And as we mentioned, people are going to run to the mountains. People are going to run to the forest. People are going to be doing all these things in the end days. All right. Trying to, get away from FEMA or whatever these other places. All right, however it is, they're going to try to survive off the land, and Jake going to try to do it too. All right, and unless the Lord's dealing with you, it ain't gonna benefit you none. All right, the only way you're going to eat in those days is if the Lord's dealing with you. Okay, only if the Lord is dealing with you. All right, this is 2nd Esdras 15 and 58. They that be in the mountains shall. What about those Edomites that are going to run up there? I'm going to run up the mountains with guns. Let's see what's going to happen to them. 2nd Esdras 15 and 58. They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger and eat their own flesh and drink their own blood for very hunger of bread and thirst of water. And that's a heavy scripture. All right, that is a heavy scripture. All right, and when it comes to famine, this is one of my favorite scriptures about famine because it really puts it in perspective. All right. It really puts into perspective how bad it's going to be. People are going to be eating their own flesh and drinking their own blood because they're going to be so damn hungry and thirsty. All right, that's how bad it's going to be. All right, and they're going to be doing that themselves. You damn sure know they'll be quick to bust your head open and eat your brain. All right, like a zombie or some shit. All right, so don't even put that. There will be cannibalism. There will be cannibalism. All right, there will be cannibalism, if I could pronounce it correctly. All right, there will be cannibalism. All right, that is something that is going to happen every time there's been major famines. All right, cannibalism happens. All right, because people don't care. They'll eat you. They don't give a shit. All right, you're just food to them. This is Lamentations 4 and 9, and this is how bad it is. How bad it is to be that hungry. Lamentations 4 and 9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for the want of the fruits of the field. Famine and hunger is, hunger is a very, very, very terrible way to die because it's a very slow death. All right, it's a very slow death. If you look at pictures from historical, famines and stuff, we can go and do that right now. There's a picture where basically families would have to guard their children because people try to snatch them up and eat them. All right. There you go. There's some images right there. I'll show them. They might take it down, but there you go. There's some images right there. You see on the table you got skulls and arms. All right, the Russian famine. So people were, and I don't know what this is right here. That looks like a barrel of guts or something. All right. Hearts or who knows, just meat in general, that doesn't look like any of their arms. All right, this one right here, that doesn't look like any of their arms, and they got skulls. All right, here's another arm right here, another arm right there. All right, so there you go, man. Look, they're right there. Cannibalism, Russian famine, 1921. All right, you see a pile of body parts. All right, so hey. Don't think that people won't eat you in those days, man. Don't think that people won't eat you in those days. And you see the kids with the bloated bellies, and that's not because they've been eating good. That's what happens when you don't eat. Your stomach gets all puffed out, and it just happens, man. Your ribs get all sunken in. Hey, it's not something you want to happen. All right. They that be, the Lamentations 4 and 9. Once again, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. There you go. So you'd be better off if you got shot or stabbed to death, all right, than you starving to death. Okay, but the elect isn't going to have to worry about that. All right, the elect is not going to have to worry about those things. All right. It's like, let me get in 1 minute. Let me just grab 2nd Esdras there for real quick. Just because I like to keep this on the Apocrypha. I forgot I should have moved it over. This is the King James Bible, so it stays. I wish the other one wouldn't let you get it like that, so it could just stay on the Apocrypha. Or if they could just combine them both, that'd be nice. All right, Here we go. It's like, we already got, I'm combining two different scriptures. It's Isaiah 65 and verse 13. All right. So the elect aren't, they're not going to have to worry about those things. All right. But guess what? We're not going to know who the elect are until the very, very end when we're getting beamed up into chariots. All right. And that's how we're going to know as we get closer to the end. All right. So that's why we say we're of the hopeful elect. We're hopeful to be a part of the elect. All right. Because we want to be part of the elect. We don't want to have to go through what these people go through. All right. We don't want to be wicked like these people are wicked. All right. We want to try to do our best. All right. We want to try to do our best. So Lord willing, we're of that number of the elect. All right. Lord willing, we're of the elect. All right. That 1/3 of Israel. All right. But anybody who's not a part of that number, okay, anybody who's not a part of that number, the 2/3, all right, they're not going to eat, man. They're not going to drink. All right. It's not going to be good for them. It's going to be terrible. This is Isaiah 65 and 13. All right. It's not going to be happy-go-lucky days for the elect either. All right. They're going to get food and drink, but it's still going to be a very, very terrifying time for them as well. All right. So Isaiah 65 and 13, therefore thus saith the Lord our power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed. All right, well, it says, but ye shall be ashamed. All right, so hey, man, it's going to be a terrible, terrible time. All right, in verse 14 it says, behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. All right, so there you go. There you go. Let's get Isaiah. And actually, let's get, let me see, 1 minute. There's another thing I want to get before we close out. Let's get because this is how bad it's gonna be, man. Because I remember we just mentioned that. All right, and it says, and for we're gonna start from 21. If you go up and you read it, in verse 3, all right, from verse 2, Matthew 24 and 2, it says, and Yahushua said unto him, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall be not left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. In verse 3 it says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And he goes on to has a whole list from all the way down to continues on for quite a while, actually. But the point we're grabbing is in 21 and 22, and it says, all right, it says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as not, and this is speaking of Jacob's trouble, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not from the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. So it's going to be a worse time than it's ever been. All right, the times of old, the times now, and any time, it's going to be the worst time on earth that's ever happened. All right, and in verse 22 it says, and except those days be shortened, there shall be no flesh saved. All right, so except those days be shortened, nobody would make it out. All right, nobody would live. All right, but as it says, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Why? Because if those days were shortened, even the elect wouldn't make it out. But the elect is going to make it out, so the Most High is going to shorten those days. All right, that's why, if you're wondering why it seems like time's going by faster, all right, it's because it is. All right, it is. All right, they've actually done studies and they found out that the Earth is rotating faster. All right, the times, faster. All right, what is it? They're saying like a second slower than a second used to be. All right, or something along those lines. All right, or a minute or something like that. All right, that's why you feel like, oh, the days go by so fast now. All right, it's because the times are the days are shortened. All right, that's why the days feel like they blow by so fast. All right, it's because they are blowing by so fast. All right, so let's go and get so yeah, like we had to grab that scripture. All right, because we were speaking about it that, if it wasn't for that, even the elect is going to be afraid in those days. All right, the elect is going to be, they're going to be saved by the skin of their teeth. All right, so even it's going to be very, 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 very frightening for the elect as well. All right, so how much more is it going to be frightening for you that don't have no Savior? All right, that don't, you heathens that don't have no Savior, or the 2/3, all right, that refuse, all right, to hearken to the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and refuse to believe in Him, and then in the end days, all right, they're gonna what? Try to repent at the last minute, and it ain't gonna work like that, man. It ain't gonna work like that. So this is Isaiah 41 and 17 down through 18, all right, and then we're gonna close out, all right. So let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So Isaiah 41 and 17, it reads, when the poor and needy seek water, and there is none. The poor and needy is speaking of the elect of Israel. When the poor and needy seek water, and there is none, and their tongue fail for thirst, I, the Lord, will hear them. I, the Lord of Israel, will not forsake them. Forsake means, to forget. All right. If you get forsake, what does it mean? It says forsake, abandon, to desert, to leave, to quit, to depart from, to leave behind, to reject, to turn one's back on. All right, to give up on. All right, I, the Lord of Israel, will not forsake them. He's not going to give up on the elect. He's not going to forget the elect. All right, I will, in verse 18 it reads, I will open rivers in high places and fountains in the midst of the valleys. I will make the wilderness a pool of water and the dry land springs of water. So guess what? It don't matter where you are. It don't matter if you're in the middle of the Sonoran desert, all right? It don't matter what type of desert or mountain you are. If there's no water, there's no nothing. Guess what? Guess what? The Lord, right there, boom, can open up. He can open up a pool of water, a whole river with clean water, the cleanest water you've ever seen. All right, and guess what? Out of the midst, from who knows where. All right, even though Esau thought they killed all the animal, a couple deers come by. All right, and you're able to, to kill them somehow, and you're able to get yourself some clean water. You're able to get yourself a nice meal. All right, but guess what? That's only going to be available for the elect. All right, and we're hoping to be a part of that number. All right, we're hoping to be part of the 1/3 of Israel, the elect. All right, the ones that get salvation, obtain salvation through Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right, that's what we're hoping for. All right, that's why we're doing what we're doing. All right, that's why we're praying how we're praying. All right, well, we're also praying because we trust in the Lord. All right, and we love the Lord. Okay, but you people, man, you don't do that. All right, so these opportunities aren't going to be available for you. All right, your time in those days are going to be very, 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 very awful. All right. It's going to be, as much as it's going to be awful for everyone, the elect's going to have it at least a little bit better than everyone else is going to have it. All right, because the Lord's going to be watching out for them. He's going to make sure they're not getting hurt or into this situation or that situation. All right, He's going to guide them in their ways. All right, and He's going to make sure they're fed. All right, He's going to make sure they're not thirsty. All right, but you people, man, you don't have nothing. All right, when you seek water, there's not going to be anything for you. Okay, there won't be anything for you. All right, and you're going to be afraid when the first implemented famine comes, and they say, oh, you got to get this mark. All right, and then after that, there's really not going to be any food for you. They're going to promise you food, but there's not going to be any food for you. You're not going to get none. All right, but guess what? The elect's still going to be eating and still going to be drinking. All right, so, hey man, terrible times. Terrible times. All right, so let's go back here. So as the lesson was called, cut it with the lies. You just don't want people to have food, regardless if it's the cow situation or not. In the end days, guess what? Esau doesn't want people to have food. He wants people to starve. He wants people to die. He wants people to have to come to them and bow down and submit to them. All right, because Esau wants to be God, but it's not going to happen, man. Not going to happen. All right, the Most High is not going to allow this reign, Esau. All right, they're not going to allow this new world order to go through that you want to go through. All right, it's not gonna. And your plan's not gonna go through how you think it's gonna go through. You think the Lord's gonna come back, you're gonna fight him, and then you're gonna become victorious. Not gonna happen. All right, the Lord is gonna be victorious, and you're gonna be nothing but a smoldering pile of nothingness. All right, and then you're gonna go into captivity in the kingdom. So it's not gonna work out the way you think it is. All right, so cut it with the lies. You just don't want people to have food. All right, that's what it is. All right, because guess what? Who controls food controls the people, man. All right, that's the way it's gonna be. People will do a lot of things to get food, all right, or water. All right, they'll do some terrible things, and Esau knows that. All right, you can control people's minds with food and drink. All right, because you need it. It's sustenance. All right, it's life. Okay, so And you can control a lot of people, and Esau knows that. All right, Esau knows that. So that's all I had to say on that. All right, we're gonna go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. All right, Salaki for the rambling. All right, I need to get better with that, but hey, you know, Lord willing, I will. So with that, we're gonna close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakak Badash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until the next one, Lord willing, Shalom.